Okay, first dates in the Philippines. What to expect? You've never been here before. You've met some beautiful Filipina online. You went and figured out how to get a passport, saved up some money, and now you're on the way over here to try your hand at dating a Filipina here in the Philippines. On your first date, what should you expect? If that appeals to you, then you're in the right place. That's what I'm going to go over on today's show. So thank you very much for joining me. I wrote this article. Now it says it's posted, I think 2019. But I would just write down, throughout the years, I have a website, and if something popped in my head back in the day, I would write. Not many people read anymore. Video has taken over. But I look back on these articles and I'm like, you know what? I could turn that into a little updated video. So I'm going to read the article as I wrote it, or as it was written back in 2019, and I think it's older than that. So let me just put a caveat to say that this article I'm reading from is probably 10 years old. Okay? Anybody confused on that? This is a 10-year-old article from my thoughts from around 10 years ago. Okay? I've been coming here since 2013, 2012, 2013. I went on, I don't know how many dates, hundreds of dates. I've lived with several Filipinas on a longer term scale. I got kids here. At least he's got shorts on. Good job, ladies. Usually this dude right here shows up on my show. Hey, give me a kiss. Give Papa a kiss, please. No kiss for Papa. A lot of times he shows up wearing nothing but his underwear. Plays in the water all the time. He's usually in his Hanes. It shows up on my show, causing me to have to do some extra editing. So thank you very much, ladies, for making sure he's got shorts on today. Anyhow, so I've been here for a while. I wrote this article based on my experiences like 10 years ago. So here we go. First dates in the Philippines, first dates, what to expect, women in the Philippines. That's the article. You have to meet the family first. No, you don't. Many girls will tell you that you have to meet the family before she can go out with you. It's their culture. They will want you to come to their home, do the meet and greet, and then they can go out on the date. Don't do it. You will end up wasting all of your time if you give in to the pressure. So let me just break it down as we go. If you're dating a girl in her early 20s, this is probably and possibly will apply. They want you to come meet the family first for several reasons. Number one, they're very shy. Number two, they've never been out on a date before. Number three, they've probably never met a foreigner in that personal, had a relationship or spent any time around a foreigner. There's a good chance of that. So there's a lot of excitement and hype about the chick in the family meeting a foreigner. And we could sit here and talk about why they're excited, right? But it's a lot of excitement. You could be the golden ticket to saving everybody. But I'll stay on track here. So in my experience, a lot of the girls have tried to tell me, you got to come meet the family first. And when I first showed up here, that's what I did. And what's the problem with that? Okay, you chat with the girl a little bit, then you show up at her house and there's 30 people there hungry and wanting you to bring some food, which you do, and you're gonna have a wonderful party. And how much time do you think you actually get to converse with the girl to find out if you're compatible, if you like the chick, if you want to take her out on a second date? You get zero time. What you're doing is just throwing a party for the family. Everybody wins but you, the foreign guy. Yeah, you sitting there petting your Labrador. Been online chatting with some chicks today. Everybody wins but you. And I did that when I first came over, and I realized I was spending a lot of money getting to know a bunch of wonderful people, but most of the time I didn't get to know the girl, and most of the time I figured out that I wasn't interested in the girl. Now I'm out, 5,000 pesos, $100 on feeding everybody. That's not fair to me. It's not fair to you. So at some point I said, I'm not doing this. Now, let's back it up and say, okay, if the girl is like 25 and older, this probably don't apply, okay? If the girl's graduated college and works down at the bank or what have you, this probably don't apply. But if you're chatting some chick like Fatima way out in a village in the middle of a sugarcane field, this is very strongly what I'm telling you is going to apply. All right? And just imagine, I don't want to say the fear, but the apprehension, the anxiety that they would have going somewhere by themselves to meet a foreign guy when they've never been out on a date before. Or maybe they've dated a local guy, which consists of hanging out at the basketball courts. And now I hear you're going to take her out to a nice restaurant or meet her at the SM or what have you, right? It's totally different than what they're used to. Okay. Say it's a 23-year-old chick with 2 kids, probably not going to apply to her. You see, it's that life balance. But if you meet some 22-year-old chick and she lives in a village and never been out on a date, they're going to try to get you to come meet the family, come pick her up there, what have you. Let's see. Kindly explain to the girl that you want to meet her first to see if you like one another, and assure her that if everything goes okay on the first date, then you will make plans to meet her family the next day. That's fair. That's fair to everybody. And it's a smart flow. You just have to stick to your guns. Hey, come meet me. If we like each other, well, obviously, at some point I'm going to have to meet your family. Okay, I'll man up the next day. We'll go meet your family. But it just doesn't make any sense to spend $5,000 on buying a bunch of food and beer to get to meet the family when you don't know if you even like the girl or not. For me, I can tell in one date whether we're compatible or not, and let's just be friends. I've been out on a date with so many girls throughout my life where, halfway through the date or immediately or at the end of the date, we just agree, hey, we're not compatible, but let's still be friends, and it works out better than just telling a lie and then ghosting the girl. I think that's the term, never calling her back, what have you. And I made friends throughout the years by doing that. So, it only makes sense. If you have 2 weeks vacation in the Philippines, you've got to use the time wisely. This goes for anywhere. I'm in the Philippines, but if you're flying down to Colombia to meet a chick and you only got 2 weeks vacation, or if you've been chatting 2 different girls and you've only got 2 weeks vacation, your time is so precious that you got to get face to face with that girl, figure out this ain't the girl for me. Get rid of her and spend your time with the next one, and maximize your time if you figure out that's the one for you. Because most dudes ain't living over here. And most dudes, you got what? A couple weeks vacation a year. Your time is valuable. And it's okay to be what women will call us selfish. It's okay to be selfish because you don't have the time to play games. Especially if you're looking for a serious relationship. Get face to face with a girl, and if you come up with reasons to rule her out, this ain't the girl for me, respectfully move forward, okay? And don't feel bad about it. All right. If you have 2 weeks vacation in the Philippines, you've got to use the time wisely. Meet a girl for dinner, and if you're not feeling it, drop her and move on to the next prospect. Again, your time is very valuable. You have plenty of money, no time. Don't waste time meeting family until you're sure it's worth the investment. Okay. So, with all that said, I'm a realist. Okay, Fatima's from a village. Very intimidating to go meet a foreign guy, what have you. Let her bring one of her cousins on the first date. That's very reasonable, okay? The next thing she is going to ask if it's okay to bring her cousin, sister, or auntie on this date. Let her bring one of her female cousins, okay? Make sure she is clear on the fact that you want her to bring one cousin. Why do I say this? Okay. I'll finish the paragraph and then we'll go back, okay? Reiterate and verify she's bringing a female cousin by asking the girl's name. Be friendly, yet sneaky, and ask to chat with her cousin for a minute so you can introduce yourself and say hello. That way you know who she's bringing to the date. So, say the girl says, okay, I'm bringing my cousin. Okay, get them both on the video. Hey girl, how you doing? Now, it's not so scary for her. Now she's going with a partner. It's not so scary for you because now you're talking to her cousin as well. You know who she's bringing. You know who to look for. It just breaks the ice much better if you chat with the cousin or the auntie, whoever she's bringing, ahead of time. And that way you can also reiterate, hey, it's just you two coming, right? Just the two of you. I say these things out of experience. If you merely tell her it's okay to bring someone, she will bring 3 male cousins, 2 aunties, grandma, and 4 kids. You will end up forking out $100 and never even get to talk to the girl. It's happened to me on so many occasions that I had to adopt some extreme measures to prevent from going broke. If a girl shows up with unauthorized guests, I leave right then and there. Okay? And it was just the pressure building up. One of the dates, I thought the girl was showing up with one cousin. I used to meet him in the sports bar, which is like the basement of this hotel there in Makati. And so it's at nighttime. I can't remember what I had in my pocket. I think I had 4K in my pocket. She's bringing one friend. Okay, the 3 of us, it's not going to be more than 3K. I'm not going to the ATM machine in the middle of the night. I'll go tomorrow, right? Guess who she shows up with? She shows up with grandma, the auntie, 4 kids, whatever, and everybody's hungry. Everybody's trying to get a free meal on you, the foreign guy. Normally, I would not have been too upset because I know it's just what happens, right? But I only had 3 or 4K in my wallet. And now I'm inconvenienced to where I had to hump my ass over and, right there in Makati and Burgo Street, that area, the lady boys are strong scoping out the ATM machines at night. At least they used to be, because they know if a foreign guy goes to the ATM at night, he's usually drunk, and that's how they get in with you, right? Or they roll you. So I'm like, fuck, now I got to go out fight the damn ladyboy brigade to get some goddamn money, and you just get tired of that. So that's why, another reason I'm doing this. If you're gonna go out on a first date, think you need 3, you bring 20. That way you're not hunting for an ATM. You set the conditions, you start setting the conditions of the battlefield way ahead of your first date. Okay? And you do it in a way where you don't come across as a jackass. Hey, look, girl, I'm a little bit shy. Don't bring your whole family. We'll meet them tomorrow. Just bring one cousin. Matter of fact, let me talk to the cousin. It's set the conditions where she shows up. You know who's with her. You know how much the budget. And if it doesn't work out, how much did you lose? Okay, you lost 1,000 pesos or 1.5, what have you. Instead of paying $5K for the whole family to eat. It's just the way it is. Okay, back to, can't remember where I was at. Okay, I said, it's happened to me on so many occasions. All right. Why do I say make sure you bring a female cousin, right? Okay, I'm a dude. I'm going out on a date with a woman. Do I really want another fucking dude showing up? Nope, I do not. It's okay, she can bring another beautiful chick to come with her, no problem. But if the dude shows up, or it's the brother, the kuya, it's just awkward. And that's not what I'm looking for. You and I didn't come all the way over here to hang out with some dude I don't know and buy him supper. It's just that, how does that benefit me? How does it benefit you? You want to bring another good-looking chick? By all means, go ahead, but do so at your own peril. Because there's been many a times where girl showed up, me and her weren't feeling it. Next thing you know, I get the cousin's number. Hey, so sorry, but that's the way the cookie crumbled. See how that works? Don't forget who you are. It's very easy to get caught up into thinking that you have to accommodate 100% of the girl's culture. I did that in the beginning. I finally realized that it wasn't fair to me. And now I tell every girl this. Hey, our cultures are very different. Everything has to be 50-50. I'm American. I'm not Filipino. If you want someone to conform to all of your customs, then you need to find a local guy down on the basketball courts. Because that's not going to be me. Okay? I'm never going to be Filipino. And I'm not trying to be. I am who I am. And so 50-50. It's quite okay with explaining to her and her family that I'm not from the Philippines and therefore do not expect me to be Filipino. And just insert Colombian. Don't expect me to be Mexican. Don't expect me to be Thai. There's my culture over here, yours over here. Somewhere in the middle is where the compromise has to be in an intercultural or interracial relationship. Okay. Once you break it down to them and are firm on it, they'll start to understand and respect your position. Don't mean they're going to like it. Most guys are weak and they conform. Your girl's best friend who is dating a foreigner has probably tainted her with stories about what the 87-year-old guy did when they first met. Screw that. Okay, you be yourself. You be yourself. Don't try to be somebody you're not, and that includes not trying to be one of the girl's culture. You're never going to be. So that's sort of the picture of how to set to set, shape, and condition the battlefield before anybody steps out of their house to go meet, right? Filipinos are never on time. If you tell a Filipina in Manila to meet you for dinner at 7 p.m., she will not show up until around 9:30 p.m. These are my personal experiences, right? When I was down in Manila dating chicks from around the metropolitan Manila area. Here's what will happen. You agree to meet at a set time via texting back and forth. Again, this is 10 years ago. Folks, 10 years ago, girls here just still had keypad phones. There are still people here who have nothing but just a keypad phone, a talk and text, as they say. Let's see. You agree to meet at a set time via texting. She says that she is on her way to the bus station, so you go to the restaurant to wait. Again, it's back before Grab, right? Hey, come meet me. Get on a bus, meet me here. All right? And you make her come to you. You don't sit on a bus or in a taxi going across town. No. If the girl's really interested in you, get your butt on a bus. This is your city, your country. You know how you can ride the jeepney and ride the bus. You sit in traffic, okay? I came all the way from the other side of the world to meet you. I sat on a plane for 14 hours to come meet you. You are gonna sit on a bus in your country to come meet me over here in Makati. You're from Las Piñas? Wonderful. Get on a bus to Makati, because I'm not leaving this area. I've already put in my time sitting on that damn airplane. Okay, let's see, where was I? She says she is on her way to the bus station, so you go to the restaurant to wait, and at 7:30, when she doesn't show, you start texting her, but get no reply. You keep texting and calling until around 8:30 p.m., get pissed off, and decide to leave. As soon as you take a shower and get settled in your bed at the hotel, you receive a text from the girl asking where you are. Let me explain what actually went down. Forward thinking is not a strong point of Filipino girls. It's just not. They don't think ahead at all. So if you tell them to meet at 7 p.m., they will head to the bus station at around 6:30 or 7. They don't stop to think about the fact that traffic in Manila is absolutely terrible. It's the worst in the world. That damn bus ride will end up taking 3 hours just to get from one side of Manila to the other. Junk cell phones equal poor communication. And again, this is from 10 years ago, but it still applies. The other issue is their lack of communications capability. I'm talking about their cell phones. All of the Filipinas I've ever dated have two things in common. Their battery is always dead on their cell phone because they didn't think to charge it. Number two, they never have any load, which is minutes on the phone, so they can text you back. So when your girl gets to the bus to come meet you, since she has no load to text you, and 30 minutes later, the battery's dead. Why? Because they're playing some damn game. So she's out of comms. While she's on the way, she's out of comms. Just like this one here. Okay, yeah, there you go, baby. There you go. You hand me the chalice. Maybe this piece of ice was hanging over the side. I find that slightly unacceptable. Yeah, go ahead and slow pour it, baby, right here in the frame, so we can show. Just do a slow pour, not too quick. I like the fizz. Slowly, slowly, a little bit quicker. Yeah, just pour it slow. I don't like flat Coke. I can't drink a flat Coke. Baby, I'm talking about first dates with Filipinas, what to expect. And whoa, don't get none on my jeans now. The first time that you came to meet me, were you late? I can't recall. Were you on time or late?
Never.
I just talked about the Coke not being flat.
I never late. I'm on time.
What she meant to say is she's never been on time in her entire life. That's why I told her to meet me at my hotel, but we'll talk about this in a minute. So back to the chick on the way to meet me in Manila. Okay. So the girl's on the bus, battery goes dead, she's got no load. When she gets to the mall, she will have to borrow someone's phone to send you a text. You cannot make this up. So many times I thought I was getting stood up. I get back to the hotel just pissed off, like, man, what is this chick wasting my time? And then you'll get an incoming text from a strange number, or you'd get a call from a strange number, usually just a text or whatever. Where are you? Like, who is this? Unless you tell her ahead of time to physically write your number down on a piece of paper, she won't even be able to retrieve your number without borrowing a charger. So make sure you tell the girl, hey, write my number down on a piece of paper. Put it in your pocket. That way, if you have low bat, you can borrow a Kuya or a trike driver's phone to call me. It's much easier for them to pull the number out of their pocket than to go hunting for a charger. Most girls here are not rocking iPhones. That still holds true to this day, although more and more are getting smartphones. They're not rocking iPhones like the Thai girls. Every damn Thai girl's got an iPhone nowadays, right? Girls here are still, the cheap Samsung, cheap knockoffs. But back then, they're still sporting the old Nokia handset that only does talk and text. Many of them will have a phone with a cracked screen and keys that don't work. Now, folks, I'm not casting stones and trying to be mean here or belittle anybody. The objective of what I do is to invoke thought and create an understanding on some of the actions you might face based on my experiences. So you'll be like, oh, wait a minute, that girl's not ghosting me. She didn't stand me up. Just like Marco said, she's going to be late. She's probably got low bat. I'll just take a chill pill, relax, and wait for a strange text. That'll be her. Instead of getting mad as hell, turning your phone off and going to sleep. Okay? I was trying to set up a date with a girl one time, and she would never respond to the question I asked via text message. She would respond with something totally off topic. If I said something like, hey, what'd you do today? She would reply, yes, I like chicken. Something just totally off topic. She would reply, but it was never to the question, and I thought she just didn't speak English. Which there's a huge language barrier, but that wasn't the cause. We finally ended up meeting in person, and she admitted that the screen on her phone was cracked. She could only see a few characters of the message. The poor girl had to take a guess about what I was asking, and she was too shy to tell me that her phone was broken. It was pretty funny. Once I got to know her, we laughed about it. She was just doing her best to reply and communicate, but she couldn't see but just a corner of the damn screen. Okay, the shyness factor, be accommodating. When the girl and her cousin do finally show up at the agreed upon location, they may be too shy to walk into the restaurant. You will have to get up from your table and meet them outside. Now again, I used to stay hotel at the sports bar down below. It was just perfect, right? Hey, meet me at the sports bar. There was really no mention of the hotel. If you say, hey, meet me at the hotel, some people aren't cool with that, or maybe their family's not cool with that, whatever. Just tell them, hey, meet me at the restaurant, at the coffee shop, the sports bar. I just say, meet me at this restaurant. Right on the bottom floor of my hotel. So I would go down there and get a table, because sometimes it got a little bit crowded. And I'd be sitting at my table, and I would tell the girl, hey, I'm sitting here, I'm wearing a red shirt, And then you would get a text, okay, we're here. Like, all right, come on in. And you expect them to be walking through the door. They would not walk in the restaurant. They would stand outside. And I would have to get up from my table. And what would piss me off is a lot of times I'm sitting there messing around on the laptop, hacking away on the laptop. I got everything spread out because they're always late. I'm not going to sit there twiddling my thumbs. And you want them to just walk on in. Hey, how are you? Stand up, greet them, have a seat. They would not walk in the restaurant. They were too shy. So I'd have to run out there and get them, trying to keep an eye on my damn laptop or close everything up. They would not walk in because they were too shy. So be prepared to leave your table, get up, go outside, do the meet and greet out there, and escort them in. Why? Because there's a good chance they've never been to a restaurant as nice as where you told them to meet. They've never been in a restaurant like that. They've only been to Carinderias and stuff like that, and it's too intimidating. I mean, I try to put myself in the situation. If Donald Trump says, hey man, meet me at the White House, right? Am I just going to stroll in there by myself, or would I be a little bit shy? I'd be like, hey man, somebody going to show me around? Somebody going to give me escort to the Oval Office here? So you have to be accommodating and realize that they're so shy. They're not going to walk in that restaurant. And I tell this story too. My buddy used to run a Filipino place, and they were cool with him because he was the owner. Obviously, they knew him all the time. But when we went to his bar, me and my other buddy, you would see locals walk by. They would look in and see two foreign guys sitting at the bar. They would keep walking. My buddy would have to run out in the street and be like, no, come on, they're okay. They're my friends, come on. They were too shy to walk in that restaurant because there were two foreigners in there that they didn't know. What to talk about? First date, talk about family. It's the easiest topic. Focus on discussing her family and she will be happy. It'll also allow you to figure out exactly what you're dealing with. Maybe you've already covered it during months of Skyping. Again, this is old. Video chat, but use the topic of her family as the icebreaker. Just sit there and talk about her family. Do you really care? It's not that you really care, but it's nice to know what you're dealing with. How many brothers she's got, how many unemployed people. I mean, you're listening to her, but you're also gaining information to try to make your decision of whether or not you want to go meet the family the next day. If she says, I got 10 brothers, nobody's employed, they just lay around all day, get rid of the girl. Say, you ain't for me. But that's what you talk about. It's pretty simple. Take good care of the girl and be fair. When it's time for them to leave and head back home after your first date, make sure you give them money for transportation. Okay? Pay the transportation to get there and back, because chances are they borrowed the money to be able to meet you. It's only fair no matter how great or terrible the date went. Don't be an asshole. Okay? If you really like the girl and want to see her again the next day, go to 7-Eleven, buy her some load for her phone, or share some load. That way y'all can communicate properly. Or give her some money to get some load. Remember that if you don't supply her with cell phone load, you're not getting any text back. Maybe it's not because she don't want to text you or call you, it's because she doesn't have the means, so don't be cheap. At that point, you got to give her the means and the mechanism to be able to communicate with you. Now look, times have changed a lot since I wrote this, but back in the day, a girl would have to go to a comm shop, just a little hole in the wall spot with just little cubicles, and rent a computer for the hour to be able to video chat with you. That was 10 years ago. Those little places still are around, internet cafes. So nowadays communications is obviously not the same as it was 10 years ago. But if a girl shows up to meet you, whether you like her or not, give her enough money to cover her transportation back and forth. It's just only fair. There you go. Even if you had a horrible date, cover the girl's transportation. It's a lot easier for you to make 1,000 pesos than it is for them. So don't be an asshole. Now, if they promise they're showing up with just her and one cousin, and they show up with 12 kuyas, the gloves come off at that point. Nope, I'm out of here. Not paying for that, okay? Not telling you to get scammed, but in the same sense, you be a gentleman and be fair. Invest a little in the relationship. I've said in other blog articles that you should never send money to someone who you only know online, okay? However, when you finally make it all the way to the Philippines and meet a girl in person, the gloves should come off. That's when you have to start taking chances to see where it goes. At that point, your spending actually becomes an investment in your future. Folks, if you got 2 weeks, you're the 2-week millionaire, the 1-week millionaire coming over here, time is against you. Time is against you. I mean, hell, some of our first trips, we had spreadsheets with like 50 chicks' phone numbers and information on there. And we just started at the top of the list. And, you know, first 2, whatever, didn't work out. Maybe by the time we got to 3 or 4, well, we were done. But we had options. If you're just chatting one chick and putting all your eggs in one basket, and you save all that money and burn all of your vacation time to go somewhere and it doesn't work out, that I don't want to say it's a wasted trip, but what do you do then? And I ran into one of you fine folks in down in the business district of Angeles City at an establishment called Lollipop. My friend from Australia, it was very nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Bought me a Coke, a Red Bull or something. Bought me a drink. Thank you very much. And was telling me the story that met a girl online, came to Manila, and I don't know, within a few days, the chick started getting crazy and tore up the hotel room and getting violent, and he just had to get the hell out of there. Like, dude, just, yeah, you got out of there, don't go back. She's crazy. Just bad luck. Bad luck. But if you don't have other options, what do? You end up in Angeles City at Lollipop, and that's not a place where you want to meet your wife. Let's see. I'm not saying to try and buy her love by showering her with gifts. That's not what I'm saying. Not saying play Captain Save-A-Ho and solve everybody's problems. But I'm saying that if you only have a week with the girl, make it count. Buy some groceries, let her mom cook a nice meal for you and the family, take the family out to a movie. You got to maximize your time to see if this is the girl for you that you're going to spend another year chatting or take it to the next level. If you decide that it is the one, get the girl a proper cell phone so you can communicate with her. If shit don't work out, what did you lose? You lost the cell phone. That's a couple $100 investment, and if you lose it, it's just an insurance policy. I recommend you do it while you're here so you can get her a decent deal and get the phone set up, what have you. Don't just send her the money, because they'll use it to buy food for her family, and they'll buy a cheap ass phone, which makes communication with you still difficult. If you don't, she'll still be humping it over to the comm shop at all hours of the night in the rain. That's not fair to her. That's what they used to have to do. You know, especially if you're sitting on the other side of the world, and they'd have to get up, go to the comm shop, rent a computer for an hour. Now they don't have to do all that stuff. Here's one last tip. To mitigate everything I've discussed in this post and avoid getting pissed off, here's the best thing to do. And this is what I did. For your first date, pick a restaurant right next to your hotel. Tell the girl to meet you there at 5 p.m. Now, you could say meet me at the restaurant in the hotel, but you know what I mean? I guess I'm just too old-fashioned. When you throw the word hotel in there, it's not gentlemanly. You say anything about the hotel, it just takes the romance out of it. So I don't mention nothing about the hotel. That's why my spot was perfect. It had a restaurant that was not associated with the hotel. I said, just meet me at this sports bar. Well, I didn't even think I used the word bar. I said, meet me at this restaurant. Simple. You're meeting me at a restaurant. It has no relevance that my hotel is attached to the restaurant. So tell the girl to meet you there at 5 p.m. Don't leave the comfort of your hotel room until 7 p.m. If she does show up on time, which is highly unlikely, and text you, you can quickly walk next door and begin the date. Okay? In the West, we live and die by time. And I try to teach the children and the old lady about the importance of time when it comes to the West and to business. And, you know, we got to be there 15 minutes early. That means we're on time. If we're not 15 minutes early, we're late. Here, there's a thing called Filipino time. I didn't make it up. They did. And they laugh about it. What's Filipino time? It means people are always late. They're never on time. It's just the way it is. So you just got out of the military and you tell a girl to meet me at 09 at this coffee shop, and you're there at 08:45, you're going to get pissed off, and you're going to be sitting there drinking goddamn coffee and to the point that you get pissed off and ready to leave when she rolls in the door. That's the probability. How do you eliminate that? Meet me at 7, text me when you get there. Go up, hang out, chill out in your hotel room. Around 7:45, start looking for a text. If she texts and says, I'm here, all right, I'll be there in 5 minutes. You just meet them outside. You're fresh, ready to go. She's been on that bus for 3 hours, what have you. She can't predict when the bus is going to get there. That's the understanding you have to have. Manila's the worst freaking traffic in the world. Right up there, the top 3. It's horrible. Even if she leaves 3 hours ahead of time, there's a good chance she's going to be an hour late. So don't expect her to be on time. She's going to be late due to her own culture, and she cannot predict Manila traffic or the buses. That's how you do it. Any questions on that? For example, you're staying at the Bellagio on Burgos Street. Meet me at the filling station. There you go. You don't leave your room at the Royal Bellagio until she texts and say, okay, I'm outside the filling station on Burgos Street. Okay, I'll be right there in 2 minutes. That's how I do it. Now look, if you just joined me, I told you this article's over 10 years old, but most of the principles still apply. Use some patience. What to pack when you come to the Philippines? 2 big old suitcases full of patience and 1 carry-on full of shut the fuck up. It's not the same in America where a chick can get in her car, crank that car, and meet you there. If you say 7 p.m., she's there at 6:45. Okay, it doesn't work like that here. So that's one of the reasons I do these videos and these talks, is to gain, for the first time traveler, first time a person's dating the Filipina, to try to bridge that gap, bring some understanding, and the reasons why you got to exercise patience. There you go. Leave your story down in the comments. Many of my viewers are married to and or dating or engaged to Filipinas, so everybody has a first date story. Leave your story down in the comments for everybody else to learn from. As I always say, you learn more in the comments than you learn from me. But all I hope to do during these videos to invoke thought, and if I did so, then I consider that a win. I don't have all the answers. All right, I'll end the video with this funny story about my buddy Pablo, and I've told it many times before, but Pablo had met a girl And she was, I say maybe 26, 27. Shout out to you, Joe G. Hope you're doing well, wherever you're at in this world. Sweet girl. Meets her. We went over to the Blue Rock. She lives over that way. And he listens to my advice. I said, dude, make the girl meet us here just for breakfast, and then if everything's okay, we'll go visit the old man the next day. And that's what went down. She took a bus over there. She showed up. They hit it off during breakfast. Okay, all right. All right, now we got to go meet the family. We get over there the next day, pull into her spot. Obviously she's real nice. The mom's real nice. I'm sitting here. Pablo's sitting here. Her old man sits right across the way. Sits down in his chair. And folks, we ain't been there like 5 minutes. Sits down in the chair, crosses his arms. Whoa, messing up my mic. Leans forward, stares straight at Pablo and says, "So, what are your intentions with my daughter?" That's how Pablo started out his interrogation, which lasted, I don't know, a good fucking hour. Luckily, he had had a few shots of vodka, a couple beers on the way over to calm him down, to prepare for that. I was not prepared for that. I had never received that treatment and have never received that treatment or that welcome from any other family I've met here. Nobody's ever treated me like that, and it came right out of left field. To the point I almost blurted out, "Hey, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Dude came over here to show you respect, brought some, drinks and food, and that's the way you're gonna welcome him?" Pablo was like, well, sir, you gotta hand it to him. Pablo handled business. He came right out. He said, "Well, sir, I just met your daughter. I'd like to get to know her more, find out, what she's about and her interests in life." And he handled the question. Where I was just not, I would not have been accommodating. I'd have been like, "Dude, fuck you. I'm out of here." Pablo handled it. So while Pablo was getting grilled, basically fucking getting mentally waterboarded by this dude, behind him was the kitchen. And they had these, all the cups and everything over there, had some coffee cups. And there was this little tiny mouse, little baby mouse, that was going in and out of the coffee mugs, and he was playing. He'd jump in there and disappear, then he'd poke his head out and look around, then he'd jump over to the next one. And I'm just looking past this jackass that's being a jackass to my buddy, interrogating him with all these fucking questions. And I'm just watching this little mouse over there playing. And you had to be there, but it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And it was so difficult that the rest of the meeting, I was just trying to not laugh. Because if I laughed, this jackass would think that I'm laughing at him, right? But it wasn't. It had nothing to do with him. Once I saw that mouse, it's like I went into Alice in Wonderland. This was just, whoop, 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 and I was just like, that fucking mouse over there. He's so cute. Just jumping around. He'd jump up, look around. But that's the only negative experience I've had like that. And it wasn't even me, just my buddy. We just walked into the fucking lion's den, got ambushed. But that dude was just a jackass. That's all I can say for him. So there you go. A beautiful day here in the Philippines. Life is short, my friends. If you're chatting some chick online at some point, that little chatmate relationship, it's not an LDR. There's no such thing as a long distance relationship. That's all bullshit. You got a chatmate until you man up, get on a plane to wherever the girl's at, go meet her face to face, walk into her family's house and meet everybody. Okay, that's day one of your relationship. Up until then, you just got a chatmate. It's no different than talking to a fucking AI bot. Okay? So at some point, if you want to change your life, you're going to have to get on a plane and go to wherever the girl's at and start your relationship. So I do little talks like this. Hopefully it helped you. Patience, understanding, understand they're shy. In the same sense, don't get ripped off. Don't feel compelled that you have to do anything. Okay? It's just the way it is. Don't chase anybody around. Folks, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up button for us. It helps out the old Google squirrels who control everything about this game. They decide whether or not we can eat rice every night or I can take the kids to Sizzler. So leave a big long comment. Hit that damn thumbs up button, that like button, whatever it is, to help out with the Google squirrels, and I'll certainly appreciate you. I will see y'all on the next one, my friends. Kids over here got the water hose running up my water bill. My gosh, sometimes my water bill is like 2,000 pesos, 2,500 pesos, when it should be like 200. Why? Because of Forrest G and his water hose activities, with Maria joining in too. But you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. See y'all on the next one, and peace out, my friends.
Finish. You should do.
What's going on out here, ladies?
Making ice.
What are you cooking? That smells less than delicious. Ugh. This whole kitchen. Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna bring it inside.
I mean, you ladies look absolutely gorgeous out here, but the smell of this kitchen is, let me see your war face. Okay, baby, can you tell the viewers what you're doing here?
Making ice.
Okay, you're making ice the Filipino way. Guaranteed that I have plastic in my drink.
Hindi yung babae. Ano? Dali Maria. Ato mas gawa.
This is what's going to go in the freezer to make my ice. We have 2 ice trays in there. What do you mean?
Dad.
That's
Too small, no?
yeah, but now I got plastic in my ice.
You cheap bastard.
I don't see how you
Kumbaya,
cheap
ice
bastard.
machine. Ice machine.
Ah, so I'm supposed to buy an ice machine. Now, folks, the air fryer has nothing to do with the ice making operation. She's just utilizing an expensive piece of gear, trying to tear it up.
No, I just put it in there.
Is that what the air fryer is designed to do?
I put it there. It's easy me to
Why don't you get a bowl?
to carry that.
Yeah, you're gonna break the handle off of that thing.
Yeah.
Now the air fryer is gonna be missing the handle from your 10 kilos of water operation. Baby, you...
Oh, layas dira ba?
Yeah, layas hawa, so I can destroy another piece of kitchen gear.
Alis ba, alis? Tawa.
This one out here, eating these fish balls. Yes. Everybody, can you hold up the insane street
Fish
food?
balls.
Frozen fish balls.
This is Maria's like. Right, Maria?
I think all Filipinos like the
Yesterday
insane
I let her
Filipino
choose.
street
What
food.
she want? Fish, street food or toys? He said street food. Fish ball.
What is this?
Yeah, what are the fish balls? The best way I can describe them
That
is they're a
starts with
fish
the
hot dog.
30. What is that?
No,
It's
this
just
is not
fish-
fish hot dog.
fish
This is
pieces
a
and parts.
flour with flavor. Ano, fish na?
It's like a fake fish hot dog. How's it taste, ladies? What are you dipping it in over there?
Vinegar.
Mmm.
Vinegar, onion with garlic.
A fake fish hot dog with vinegar. Breakfast of champions.
Snack naman. Hindi naman yung
It's not. We already had breakfast.
Ah. This is dessert.
Wow.
You see how I spoil these ladies, folks. Oh, single dad. Only
When
the
I was a
best.
baby, I have earrings.
So yeah, ano siya?
Only the best food will do for
You wanna
my
go to the
ladies.
SM and we'll ask the ladies.
Hey, you just dropped a peso. Pick that thing up. 5-minute rule, ladies.
It's getting off.
Wala pa na 5 minutes.
Pinay lang alas.
Well, that's what they say here. In America, we got a 5-second rule, and here it's the 5-minute rule.
It's not 5 minutes.
That's what Fatima
5
says.
seconds po. 5 minutes te.
Shoot, you let that thing sit there for a day, Fatima gonna get it.
Pwede tagpo.
Just look, I just feel at home.
Kaya tong butangan be, ugiri. Kanila-kila ka.
I'm just wondering why the foreign guy never gets invited to a picnic in the Philippines.
And also, did you the one to eat this? Tinuro ba tatong ipon sila kakauna? Ano pa meron pala?
Close inspection at one of those. Thank you. Is vinegar and onions.
Garlic.
Oh, vinegar, garlic, and onions. And can one of you ladies demonstrate and dip one of those fake fish hot dogs in there? Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Shin.
Nadili man. Sabi na yun na.
Ruby, you look absolutely beautiful today.
Taba. Pakon ka.
Really digging your fashion.
Pwede ma'am.
Ruby's always got the fashion, folks.
No, pwede so dato. So ko man mo.
What's your shirt say? Something about something girl.
Baby girl.
That's all again.
Now get out of the chair, but don't move the chair, Big Pumpkin. Okay, don't move the chair. Just get up, don't move the chair. Okay.
Yes. Yes, Fatima.
Yeah, let's fucking stress them under here.